Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Check out the link below, fool.com/the smattering, to get access to the 10 best stocks to buy right now. Holy cow, did Advance Auto Parts stock absolutely get smashed a few weeks back when it reported earnings, down 52% so far this year, down some 70% plus from its all-time high. I bet you're watching this right now and you're thinking about buying the dip on Advance Auto Parts. I'm Jason Hall. This is The Smattering. I've got Tyler Crow here with me, and we're going to talk about one really important number that demonstrates why before you buy Advance Auto Parts, you might want to look at two of its better competitors that have been much better over the years. Hey, Tyler, how's it going?
Jason, this has all the trappings of what I would love. It's a durable industry in auto parts retailing, and we have a company that's trading for 10, 15 times forward earnings estimates, a turnaround story. This should be something I love, and yet I can't get behind it. I just can't.
Definitely the siren's call of all the things that you might like. It's a profitable company. They got a new CEO that's coming in, ready to right the ship, get things back where they need to be. But let's talk about why for years, there is a number that is really important for these businesses that Advance Auto Parts has just absolutely trailed its competitors, and why you think that should be pointing people away from Advance and maybe pointing it towards some of its peers.
This is very much like a blocking and tackling of retailing. It's called the cash conversion cycle, which is a really fancy way of saying how you manage your inventory.
Turning inventory into money.
Turning inventory into cash, because if you have parts just sitting on a shelf and you keep ordering those parts and they just keep sitting on the shelf, well, that's just dead money. That's just all the cash that you're bringing in is then all of a sudden sitting on shelves and not going into buying back stock, paying dividends, or doing the other things that you could do with available cash. And the way that you can gauge this is the cash conversion cycle. It's basically how many days sales plus how much your accounts receivable minus your accounts payable. If you net those things out, that's your cash conversion cycle in days. This is how you can kind of get a gauge of why Advanced Auto Parts has struggled for so long. Back in 2012, the cash conversion cycle in days for Advanced Auto Parts was 60 days. Today, it's closer to 91 days. Over this decade, multiple activist investors have come in and hammered Advanced Auto Parts management saying, you guys stink at converting stuff to cash. You need to get better at your inventory management. And no matter how many people that have tried, they have not been able to get that number now. Now let's compare it to two of its biggest competitors, two of the best long-term wealth compounding stocks out there, and that's AutoZone and O'Reilly Auto Parts. More or less the same industry, but when we talk about operations and kind of the blocking and tackling, this is where it really gets kind of crazy. Like I said, Advanced Auto Parts has a 90-day cash conversion cycle. AutoZone has a negative 42-day cash conversion cycle. O'Reilly Auto Parts has a negative 33-day cash conversion cycle, which means that if the parts are coming off the shelf, they're turning into cash, and they are able to squeeze vendors and not pay them as quickly. And that's how you can get a negative cash conversion cycle. So it just goes to show how much better these two companies have been at turning parts into cash, and probably why for Advanced Auto Parts, unless they can tangibly show that they are bringing that cash conversion cycle number down, it's never going to be anywhere close to its competitors.
I want to show one chart here to wrap up our conversation. There's a ton of things happening in the operations of these businesses that are driving it, right? Being more lean with inventory, having better deals with your vendors. But this is the one thing that I think really should emphasize this. If you look at the 10-year returns, O'Reilly and AutoZone turning every dollar you invested into $8, every dollar you invested into almost $6. What has Advanced Auto Parts done over that same period? Actually lost investors money. And again, this includes the dividends. That is an enormous difference in returns. So before you jump into buying the dip on a poor performing stock, this is a good reminder that a lot of times these stocks fall that much, it's for a reason. And before you buy the one that's not doing well, thinking it's going to bounce back and you're going to get big gains, find the ones that it competes with that have done well, and you're probably going to do a lot better there, Tyler. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's the case with these three stocks right now.